Hey, I'm Chris, and this is Addy Family Adventures AFA, and today I'm going to be ranking the MCU movies by box office success. So stay with me. Alright, so we're going to rank these movies by box office success. There's really no opinion in here. This is all by how much money they made at the box office. And this is at the box office globally, not domestically, globally. So starting out at 22 is Captain America, the First Avenger. So this was actually the first movie, I believe, that was done underneath Disney. After Disney had bought Marvel, this was the first movie that was done underneath that company once it was bought. And I thought Captain America was a great movie. I loved it. I wish it would have done more than that, but I know it was a hit for Disney for the first Marvel movie. So let's go ahead and we're going to move on to number 21, Thor. I'm sorry, let me go back. Captain America, it made $370.6 million at the box office. So that's a lot. I don't know how much it cost to make the movie, but that was, at that time, it was a hit for Disney. All right, so number 21 is Thor. I like the Thor movie. You know, it wasn't as big as like some of the first movies, but I really did. I like that it started. I like Thor. I like the character Thor, and Chris Hemsworth does a really good job of bringing that character to life. But for Thor at the box office globally made $449.3 million. So we'll move on, and we'll move on to Ant-Man. Now, Ant-Man, this is kind of a lesser known character. I mean, people know who Ant-Man is, and I think maybe some people learned who he is because, of course, he's not as popular as the other characters. And Ant-Man, which is at number 20, made $519.3 million globally at the box office. And I thought it did really... I liked it. It had a good story, everything like that. Iron Man 2 is number 18. Iron Man 2 made $623.9 million globally at the box office. Now, Iron Man 2, it was all right. It wasn't what you were expecting. You were kind of expecting a little bit more out of it, and I wish it would have been better. I thought Mickey Rourke did a good job in it, even though I think for some reason the character, they kind of changed the character Whiplash, and I really, sometimes taking stuff from comic book to movie, the translation's not always that well. So at number 17, we have Ant-Man and the Wasp. All right, and it made $622.7 million globally at the box office. Now, I liked Ant-Man and Wasp. I thought it was really good. The villain could have been better, but you know, it was kind of different. They were on the run because, of course, Scott was wanted, and but the post-credit for it to lead up, because you got to understand, Infinity War was taking place at the same time that this movie was. So it was great for a sequel. I'm hoping they make another one. I don't see any in the plans, but it would be great to see another Ant-Man movie. All right. So at number 16, we have Thor again with The Dark World with $644.6 million. Now, this, out of the Thor movies, I think this may have been the worst one. I'm not trying to put it down or anything. The story just wasn't there. It was just kind of not something exciting to see. I thought Chris Hemsworth and I thought Tom Hiddleston did a great job in the movie though. And Tom Hiddleston as Loki is always awesome. And I can't wait for Loki to come to Disney Plus. All right, so number 15, Doctor Strange, $677.7 million globally at the box office. Doctor Strange, I did like Doctor Strange. It really brought in like the magic and everything of Marvel, and Dr. Stephen Strange, great character, and I can't wait to see the sequel. So I think the sequel is going to bring a lot of stuff in, and once again, I love this character, Doctor Strange. I can't think of the actor's name right now. I know it, but I cannot think of it. Forgive me. If somebody knows it, please put it in it's his last name's Cumberbatch, but I cannot think of his first name. I apologize. But all right, so number 14, Captain America: The Winter Soldier, which made $714.3 million. The Winter Soldier, I loved it because it brought back Bucky as the Winter Soldier. Of course, he's a bad guy, but and you started to see this is where Civil War started to get going. So it's I think more or less it brought in Black Panther, which is a great character. Love Black Panther. And was it Winter Soldier brought in Black Panther? Maybe I'm wrong. I don't think it was. I think it was Civil War brought in Black Panther. My mistake. But yeah, Winter Soldier, I liked it. It was reuniting Bucky and Cap together. All right, number 13, Guardians of the Galaxy at $773.3 million globally at the box office. Guardians of the Galaxy, this movie, I think, should have made more. I really do. Guardians of the Galaxy was great. I really wasn't that familiar with the characters of Guardians of the Galaxy, and I thought everybody did great. They had a big cast too, even voice actors and everything like that. And I think it to me, it may be one of the best MCU movies there is. So speaking of that, going to number 12, Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2. It made $863.8 million globally at the box office. Once again, it's great. Guardians, love the Guardians. Can't wait till we get Volume 3. And Chris Pratt is great as Star-Lord. You got Dave Bautista, also great in it. And who doesn't love Groot? Whether it's Big Groot or Baby Groot or Teenage Groot, Groot is one of the favorite characters. All right, for number 11, probably the best Thor movie made in the MCU, Thor Ragnarok at $854 million globally at the box office. This was Thor. I really loved it. I loved the Hulk in that movie. Had lots of great catchphrases, and it really had one of the best villains. Hela, his sister, and once again Loki came in, and thought that Tom Hiddleston always, I think anytime you put Tom Hiddleston into something, it's going to be a hit. He's just a great actor. Not to take anything away from Chris Hemsworth. Chris Hemsworth was great in this movie too, and hoping we'll see more of Chris Hemsworth because it sounds like he wants to continue to play that character. So let's go on to number 10. Number 10, to me, he's the icon of Marvel. That's Spider-Man. Spider-Man Homecoming, $880.2 million globally at the box office. What can I say? Spider-Man's been a favorite of mine for a long time. I love Spider-Man. I guess, the thing is if you compare Superman to Spider-Man, I'd rather be Spider-Man. I think it'd be funner swinging through the city than flying through the city. That just seems so boring to me, where Spider-Man's way of getting around is just so much interesting and looks so much fun. And Far From Home, Michael Keaton did a great job as the Vulture in this movie. Love Michael Keaton. Hope if they do another one that Michael Keaton may appear in it again. Always love Michael Keaton. Of course, Michael Keaton, to me, the best Batman out there. But let's go ahead and we'll move to number 9. And we just were speaking about the webhead. Spider-Man Far From Home. $988 million globally at the box office. Great movie. Jake Gyllenhaal, he did a great job as Mysterio. Love that they brought Mysterio in. Mysterio has been one of my favorite villains, especially for Spider-Man. And Tom Holland. To me, people ask who's your favorite Spider-Man. I hear everybody say Tobey Maguire. Tobey Maguire did a great job. Andrew Garfield, I thought he did a great job, but I think Tom Holland has made this character his. And I really love that they're still in high school, and that's where a lot of the Spidey comics really talk to a lot of people. And I know eventually he's gotta grow up. So, but Far From Home was great. Introduction of Mysterio. Of course, Samuel L. Jackson was in the movie as Nick Fury. And, to me, it was a good movie. All right, number 8. Captain Marvel at $1.128 billion. So, this wasn't one of my favorite movies. It got bad press all the way up till its release. I found myself... I really wish I could have got more into the movie. I found myself just sitting there wanting to figure out how Nick Fury lost his eye. And I was kind of upset with how that happened. I was hoping it would be something better. But yeah, Captain Marvel, I mean, they had a lot of good stuff in it. It was just not my favorite movie, and it had nothing to do with the bad press before it or anything like that. I just felt like the story for this movie just wasn't there. I don't know what it was. I found myself watching it and becoming bored and have to find something that interests me. And I have nothing against any of the actors or actresses in this movie. I just, like I said, I think the story could be better, is what it could have been done. All right, and number 7, Captain America Civil War at $1.153 billion. All right. I like Captain America. He's probably one of my favorite characters besides Spider-Man. He's just under Spider-Man for me. And, I mean, Civil War brought together, and had good guys fighting good guys. There was no villain. There was a villain, but it was basically a fight for opinion of what was right and what was wrong. And I really loved it. It introduced Tom Holland as Spider-Man in the MCU. So, and I think a lot of them in there. Jeremy Renner as Hawkeye. Love him. He needs to have his own movie. And I believe he's not getting his own movie. I think he's getting his own series on Disney Plus. So Jeremy Renner, loved him ever since The Hurt Locker. And I think he's a great Hawkeye. He does a really good job. All right, number 6, Iron Man 3 at $1.215 billion. Iron Man 3, I liked it. It brought more depth to the character, but it's Robert Downey Jr. Robert Downey Jr. is going to bring more depth to the character. I just wish they wouldn't had done what they did to the Mandarin, I'm hoping, I would say I hope they bring a better Mandarin in, but with Iron Man being gone, I don't think that's gonna happen. So, but yeah, sometimes I feel like they change the story and ruin certain characters, and in this one they ruined the Mandarin character. But all in all, it had a good story. Other than that, and I liked the ending with all the suits flying around, and with Pepper Potts in the suit. I thought that was awesome. All right, now at number 5, which is Black Panther, which I forgot to mention that it was Civil War. Black Panther was also introduced. But at number 5, Black Panther at $1.347 billion globally at the box office. Black Panther, great movie. Felt like Michael B. Jordan, great villain. It's like finding the right villains for these movies, and Michael B. Jordan played Killmonger. Great. The rest of them, the movie was great. Loved it. Really didn't know that much about Black Panther, but loved the character. I think it's great. I think the character Black Panther, I hope, will be in more coming up, because like I said, he's a great character, and I believe there's supposed to be a Black Panther sequel coming soon, so I can't wait to see that. All right, number 4, Avengers: Age of Ultron at $1.405 billion at the box office globally. Age of Ultron, it had some good things, but we did get the Scarlet Witch, so we got Wanda, and then of course her brother, who dies in the movie, the Quicksilver, which I liked the ending. I thought the ending was a good ending. Once again, the Avengers always show one of my favorite characters, the Hulk, at his best, and I think it's just was one of the. It just didn't add up to the rest of the Avengers movie. It's kind of hard for it to add up to the rest of the Avengers movies. The Avengers movies just were up there, and this one, and I understand Ultron is one of the best villains out there, but I really think they could have done it better. But yeah, so that was number 4. Number 3, the Avengers. Now, of course, the Avengers globally was $1.519 billion globally at the box office. I meant this was when they first brought them all together, these characters, and it was big. People were waiting to see something like this, and they capitalized on it. Once again, the Avengers, to me, is the best Hulk movie made. I know I didn't mention the Hulk movie. It was actually all the way down at the very bottom. But yeah, this was really good. Loved it. I don't think it may be my favorite Avengers movies. I love the others, but this one's probably one of my favorite Avengers movies, and I don't think it can get better whenever you start to bring those guys together. That epic scene when they're all standing in a circle, but to me, the Avengers, there it is, right behind me, standing in that circle, getting ready to do what they have to do, and then you got that big cast. I mean, wow, putting all those actors and actresses together, that's so awesome. All right, number 2, of course, Avengers: Infinity War, and this was not. It was basically somewhat the introduction to Thanos, even though we kept getting little looks at him. But yeah, Thanos has to be the ultimate villain. And sometimes you can sit there and think about what he's talking and somewhat go, he kind of makes sense. You know what I mean? That's how I think they draw you in, when you can actually see the villain's side of things. And even though, and this one, the reason it was so good because they lost. I mean, here you are. It would be like watching Rocky and seeing Rocky lose at the very end. All right, but the Avengers Infinity War brought so much more characters. You had the Guardians of the Galaxy came in, Doctor Strange. It was adding so much more into the Avengers, and and that was the snap right there, the snap, and you had to have that. It was that part where they lost that would make the next movie. And I didn't tell you, Avengers Infinity War brought $2.48 billion globally box office. And it was basically the setup movie, so that's why I got number 2. I thought it was a great movie, but number 1, of course, Avengers Endgame. And globally at the box office, it made $2.792 billion. And Endgame was great. Once again, Thanos. And not only that, you got to see all of his henchmen come back too, because he came back from the past. So what had happened in Infinity War, it was a different Thanos, a Thanos that wasn't known for what he didn't have the knowledge that he had in actual Infinity War. And this one brought it all together. This is what ended it, and we've seen lots of characters be gone, and hopefully we're gonna see a new beginning for all these characters. But I think, like I said, it was a big movie, great movie. I can watch it over and over again. And Avengers Endgame, number 1 globally at the box office for the MCU. But as for that, I mean, I would say give me your ranking down below in comments, but of course this isn't an opinion thing. This is more of a you could buy money. So but you tell me. How about that? You tell me what your favorite movie is in the MCU. Tell me down in the comments, which was your favorite movie out of all the movies in the MCU. And we'll even throw in the Hulk. I'll throw the Hulk in there. It wasn't ranked, but it would probably be number, I think, 23. The Incredible Hulk, $263.4 million globally at the box office. So, but yeah, tell me down in the comments what your favorite MCU movie was. And as for that, that's going to end it for here. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to hit the like button if you like the content. And like I said, comment down below what your favorite MCU movie is. And if you're just now finding the channel and you like the content you're seeing, please hit that subscribe button and that notification bell so you know when we go live or we post a video. But as for that, that's going to do it. And I hope to catch you on the next adventure. And remember, adventure is out there. Thanks. We'll see you later.